Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Megan. The whole point of my channel is to take books I've read and compare them to their movie or TV show adaptation. Before I get started, I just want to say I'm sorry I'm posting so late. It was one weekend, one of those weekends. I hope everyone's doing great. I hope you're not too tired to watch this, or if you are, hope to see you tomorrow. I just watched the new Lion King. I know I'm a little late on that, but it was so good. Let me know what you thought. I cried like 6 times in it, so let me know what you thought. So this time I will be talking about 5 Feet Apart. And it is by Rachel Lippincott with a couple other people. I'm not going to butcher everyone's names. My first ever YouTube video was made about this book and this movie, and then I noticed my audio did not work. So now I'm using these headphones with this little nifty microphone, and y'all can hear me. So I'm going to do it again, because this is the one that kind of inspired me to finally, I've always had the idea of making these videos, and after I watched this movie, I finally was like, I have to put that into action. So here we are, making it again. Take 2. So this movie, spoilers, of course. I make these videos typically primarily for people who have seen the book and, read the book and seen the movie, or for people who have done one or the other and are trying to decide if they should read it or watch it, It's not for if you haven't done either, because spoilers, always, I'm talking about the whole thing, not just a little bit. I'm going in depth. So let's begin. So one of my pet peeves with any movie, not just movie adaptations, is when they start by showing the end. Why? It takes away all suspense, any question, I don't understand. I once saw a scary movie where they showed kind of part of the end, and so you see this one character doesn't die the whole time, and there's no suspense. Same with this one. She's healthy. You see a video of her healthy at the beginning, so you know she doesn't die. You know when she falls into that, breaks in the ice and falls in the frozen water, you know she's not going to die. You know when he's breathing his life into her, it's going to work because she lives. You see her healthy. It takes away any suspense possible. So that really irks me. I feel like if you're not happy with the beginning, make it stronger. Don't put the ending there. That's the weakest cliffhanger. I mean, not cliffhanger. That's the weakest opening to just show that end. I feel like that's a cop-out in a way. I just don't get it. Let me know what you think. Maybe you guys like it. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Moving on. So after it opens with her little YouTube video, healthy, yay, I'm so happy. It shows her hanging up the drawing of her sister's flower lungs, which honestly I thought would look just like, I keep messing up this book, I thought would look just like these. It didn't, so I was just a little bummed about this. I think this cover is beautiful, and it already has a picture of flower lungs, so I don't know why they didn't just use this one without the words and all that in the movie. I feel like that would have been a good idea rather than remaking the same thing, recreating it. This is gorgeous. I love this cover. So then it showed a scene with, I guess it was kind of the same scene with Stella and her friends talking about the Cabo trip, and I really liked it. I like their back and forth and their interactions and their flow. It's always a little kind of stiff reading those kinds of things in a book, but they flowed really well together in the movie. I was just upset because it didn't mention that she helped plan the trip to Cabo. They were just like, oh, I'm so bummed you can't come. But I feel like they could have also slid in there oh, it's even worse that you planned it. That was 2 seconds. You couldn't just squeeze that into the movie. It just makes it that much worse if she couldn't go, instead of just, oh, she's not going on a school trip. She's not going on a school trip that she planned. So I just feel like that adds a little more gravity to it. But I know, small detail. I know. I get caught up on the little things a lot. So one thing that usually is the reason I like books more than movies is the book lends you insight to the character's thoughts. instead of just seeing them and never knowing what's going on in their head. In a book, you can read what's going on in their head. And I feel like in this case especially, like the movie lacked so much by us not getting that insight. Like, it explained her thought process with her OCD, which was never called that in the book. It was only called that in the movie. But we understood it a little better in the book just by seeing her train of thought with it. It showed Will's inner turmoil between hanging out with Stella, between even being in the hospital, giving up entirely. In the movie, Stella's friends were just kind of there for Will's birthday party, but in the book it says, oh, they just came back from Cabo just in time. And I know that's kind of implied in the movie by them being there, but really in the movie they were gone 1 second and then just magically there, with no explanation. And then also Stella's turmoil about taking the lungs in the end. I watched this movie with my husband and he was confused. Well, he's like, she's being so dumb. Why isn't she taking it? And in the movie, I was honestly like, yeah, if I was watching this, it is dumb. But in the book, I was like, don't take the lungs. Like, I understood it completely because I understood her thoughts. And then even her changing her mind and just being like, when Will's like, take them. And she's like, okay. Like, my husband's like, that was the quickest change of mind. That was that easy. But in the book, like, there's so much more depth in her train of thought. Like, their thoughts added so much to the book. Stella's YouTube videos were fantastic. I loved seeing her personality and her humor. It's way different seeing that than reading about it. She didn't seem funny in the book, but she seemed funny in the movie, and I liked it. I liked her personality. So, in the movie, they were like by the pool with the pool stick, like poking each other and like rubbing each other with a pool stick. And in the book, like, I mean, I wasn't like, ooh, that's nice. I was just like, whatever. In the movie, I was like, it was really awkward and really uncomfortable. I don't know why. I guess I was just imagining it different when I was reading it. But like in the movie, I was so uncomfortable. I was like, can I fast forward? Like, it was just weird. I don't know. Let me know what you thought, because I was just kind of creeped out. Even though I read it and I knew what was happening, it was just too much for me. So Will's mom was different in the movie than in the book. In the book, she was a little more, like, she slipped the nurse, like, money to take care of him. So she's a little bit more annoying. I do understand changing her a little bit. You know, she's a minor character, so, like, whatever, changes have to be made. But they also took out Will's big fight with his mom, which then led to resolution, which I was disappointed about because I feel like it added depth to his character and her character. But again, she's a minor character, but I feel like he could have definitely used that depth and that extra layer showing his relationship with her and it evolving. Will's goodbye in the book made me cry. Will's goodbye in the movie made me bawl like a little baby. It was so much better. First of all, the visuals of the Christmas lights and Stella crying and unable to speak, and the feels, man, got me feeling all type of way. And also just, I feel like his reasoning in the book was so cliche and like, da 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 da, okay, we get it. But in the movie, I was like, I understand Will. Like, I feel like he just explained it way better in the movie. And just Stella, oh my gosh. I feel like that was way more powerful, the visuals and all that, than reading it in the book for sure. I just pointed at the book, but you couldn't see because my hand's way down here. Okay, anyways. So the end of the book, listen, y'all. If you have only seen the movie and not read the book, please go to your local library, pick up the book, and just read the ending, because they just completely omitted it and it made me mad. So yes, the movie ends with her YouTube video of her healthy. That's kind of how the book ends too. But there's a part after it. So the part after is they're both at the airport. She's going to go see the Sistine Chapel or whatever, which she was supposed to see with Abby, her sister. But now she's going with her little friends. And he's traveling the world like he wanted to. and he's got doctor appointments in each place he visits, but blah, blah, blah. And they see each other at the hospital, and it gives hope. And I'm so happy they're going to see each other again, and it's an open door, and you don't know what's going to happen. But the movie just takes that part completely, and it ends with her video, and I literally cried. It ended, and I cried, and my husband's like, what's wrong? I said, they took out the ending. They ruined it, and I was so mad, and I was like, listen, this is what was supposed to happen. I cry a lot, in case you couldn't notice. But I was so mad. I was so mad. So I'm almost done rambling. I can't even talk because I'm so mad. The thing I'm most upset about is Poe's storyline. Listen, y'all, I loved movie Poe. I think, what's his name? Moises Arias, whatever. He was from Hannah Montana. Yes, I love Hannah Montana. I loved him. I loved his character. I loved his acting. I loved movie Poe. But Poe in the book had a backstory, and they just erased it. So listen, in the book, his parents were deported, and he hadn't seen them in years, and he felt like a burden in all his relationships because his insurance was going to expire when he turned 18, and he didn't want to riddle everyone with his medical bills, and he was finally going to go see his mom, and he was finally going to try to have a long-term relationship with Michael, and then he died. Oh my God, I cried so hard. Listen, in the book and in the movie, I'm not going to lie and say I didn't cry in the movie. I cried in the movie too. But, like, the movie, it just kind of mentioned, oh, I'm going to go see my mom. It doesn't say that he hasn't seen her in years. It doesn't say that they had been deported. It just said, oh, I'm going to go see my mom. And she's like, that's great. And he's like, oh, I'm going to give it a try with Michael. And she's like, oh, that's great. But it doesn't explain, like, his tragic backstory. Book Poe was wronged. I loved Book Poe. But again, I still cried both times. Anyways, so that is the end of this video. I don't know what I'm going to do next week, honestly. I gotta do some reading and watching. I've been watching only Grey's Anatomy lately, so I gotta change that up. But I will let you know when I know what I'm going to do. So, it's a surprise. Subscribe and you'll see next time. Stay tuned. Love y'all.